Well, hello there. We are back for another weekly recap of Robert Sports. The men's and women's soccer teams have decided to start off their first several games with exactly the same record. The cross-country teams ran like someone was chasing them at their first meet of the season. And the women's volleyball team had some fun over in Brockport, pulling up quite the upset. Let's get right to it. This is another episode of Mick on the Mic. After a tough loss for their season opener against Lemoyne on August 30th, the women's soccer team decided to put on a show for a home crowd against Chestnut Hill College on September 1st to secure their first victory. The first goal of the game came quickly in the 4th minute when Selena Beller's shot from 18 yards out found the back of the net. The assist was dished out by junior forward Taylor Rutland. 2 more goals were added in the half as junior Olivia Avery took a shot from 18 yards over the keeper's hands in the 7th minute. Not to be satisfied with just 2 goals for the team, Mackenzie Purcell ran onto a precise pass from junior Tiffany Melendez inside the penalty area where Purcell shot and scored, making the score 3-0. And just for the heck of it, the women decided they would add 1 more goal. The 4th goal of the game was scored in the 65th minute when junior midfielder Israela Groves took a shot off a free kick just outside the top of the box, which hit the top bar and managed to sneak its way over the goal line, making the final score 4-0. Their September 3rd matchup versus St. Rose was much less eventful, resulting in a draw after 2 overtime periods. The Redhawks spent most of their first half of action in their defensive end, recording only 3 shots versus St. Rose 6. Unable to take control of the scoreline in regular time, the Redhawks still managed to get 9 shots off in the second half. Both sides managed to create opportunities in overtime, but both the Redhawks and the Golden Knights weren't able to get on the board. Now, switching over to the men, the team decided to get their first win in the books quickly by coming away with a 3-1 win against Malone University, the very first game of the season. Freshman midfielder Dylan Ruiz opened his collegiate career with 2 goals, the first coming in the 25th minute and the second in the 66th. In the 29th minute, junior Terrell Spencer decided to add to the fun and score a goal of his own. He managed to gather a deflected ball, beat the Malone goalkeeper with a shot just inside the left post. Their matchup against Walsh University on September 2nd proved to be not quite as lucky, as they fell 3-1 after an offensive battle in the first half. All 4 of the game's goals were scored within the first 32 minutes of the game. The second half of play was possessed by the Redhawks, who had 6 shots compared to Walsh's 0, but Roberts was unable to score. Over now to the cross-country world, both the men and women kept in stride with their preseason pole positions, with the men's team taking 2nd place and the women standing alone at the top of the leaderboard with the first place win for their first meet of the season. Pacing the men's team was 2nd place finisher Christopher Sims, who crossed the line in 16:02. Following Sims was junior Josiah Ottolini, who finished in 4th with a time of 16:20, and freshman Shane Peace, who finished in 6th place with a time of 16:23, making that 3 runners to finish in the top 10. The women's team secured their victory with a total of 25 points, 6 ahead of 2nd place RIT. The Redhawks dominated the top 10, with 6 of them finishing in that category. Sophomore Ashley Watson finished in 3rd place with a time of 15:12, who was closely followed by sophomore Brittany Shumway with a time of 15:13, putting her in 4th, and not too far behind was freshman Bailey Gostomski, giving her a solid 5th place finish. The Redhawks cross-country programs will compete next at the Harry F. Anderson Invitational on September 22nd. Now, saving the best for last. Now, don't get mad. It's not that I don't love everyone else. We're going to go over to volleyball. As stated in the preseason episode, the women's volleyball team was predicted to finish dead last in the ECC conference after posting only a 2-30 record last season. On Wednesday night, September 5th, the women made sure everyone watched until the final point was made. They had an exhibition match against Brockport at Brockport. The Golden Eagles have won 3 straight State University of New York Athletic Conference titles and have had 3 straight NCAA tournament appearances in the past 3 seasons. so the odds were heavily in favor of the Golden Eagles going into the match. After falling behind 2-0 following the first two sets where the Red Hawks didn't even break 20 points, the team stormed back in the final three sets, winning 25-18, 30-28, and 15-13. Roberts used an 8-2 run midway through the third set to gain the advantage and keep themselves in the match. Anastasia Smith and Emily Rollison both provided a block and a kill during the run. The fourth set went into extra points, with the Red Hawks grinding out the win to send the match into a fifth set. Roberts came up with 16 kills and Brockport added 8 errors to help the Red Hawks take the set. Now in the fifth set, the Red Hawks got behind 2 points early, but 3 errors by the Golden Eagles and a service ace from Shelby Strasbaugh turned things around. Brockport was able to regain the lead at 13-12, but the Red Hawks closed the match out with 3 straight points, including a final kill by Rollison. There's nothing like a good upset. Well, that's all we have for today. We will continue to bring you all of your latest Red Hawks sports news. Feel free to stalk us on Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. Yes, people still use Snapchat under the name, go figure, #Mick on the mic. Tune in next week for more recaps and highlights of the games here on Mick on the Mic.